Sri Guru Parampara by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Swami Prabhupada 1 Krishna hoite Chaturmukha, Hoi Krishna Savanmukha, Brahma hoite Narada Amadi Narada hoite Vyasa, Madhva Vyasa Dasa, Purna Prajna Padmanabhiya Gadi tu Nari Madhava Bamsa, Aksabhya Paramams, Sisa Bulyanjakara Kor Aksabhya Sisa Jayatirtha Name Parakaya, Taradasi Jnanasindhu Tor 3 Taha hoite Dayanadhi, Taradasa Vidyanadhi, Rajendra Hoila Taha Hate Taharakan Kor Jayadharma Name Parakaya, Parampara Yana Balo Make 4 Jayadharma Dasi Kyati, Sri Purasatama Jati, Yahate Brahman Yatirtha Suri Vyasa Tirtha Taradasa, Lakesmi Pati Vyasa Dasa, Taha Hate Madhavendra Puri 5 Madhavendra Puri Bara, Sisa Bara Sri Iswara, Nityananda, Sri Adwaita Vibhu Iswara Purakdanya, Karilan Sri Chaitanya, Jagad Guru Gaura Mahaprabhus 6 Mahaprabhus Sri Chaitanya, Radhakrishna Nayanya, Rupanuga Janarajivana Viswambara Priyankara, Sri Swarupa Damodara, Sri Goswamp Rupa Sanatana 7 Rupa Priya Mahayana, Java, Raghunathana, Thera Priya Kavi Krishnadasa Priya Bara, Nautama Sevapara, Java Pada Viswanatha Asa 8 Viswanatha Bhaktisatha, Baladeva Jagannath, Tara Priya Sri Bhaktivinoda Mahabhagavata Bara, Sri Gaurkishor Bara, Hari Bhajanate Jaramoda 9 Hara Paramhamsa, Garanjarani Jabamsa, Dadra Karan Mama Gaudiya Miseba Udasina, Namete Tridandi Dina, Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. In the beginning of creation the science of devotional service was received by the four-headed Brahma from the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Devarsinarda's understanding of this divine science was obtained from Brahma. The great sage Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, who was empowered to compile the Vedic literatures, became a disciple of Devarsi Narada. Sri Ācārya, the founder of the Suddhadvaita school of Vedanta philosophy, who visited Vyasadeva at Bhadarikasrama in the 13th century to learn from him Vedanta philosophy, calls himself a servant of Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Purna Prajna Tirtha, Madhva, is the guru and sole refuge of Padmanabha Tirtha. 2. The two other principal disciples of Madhva are Nari Tirtha and Madhava Tirtha. Madhava Tirtha accepted the great Paramhamsa Aksabhya Tirtha as a disciple. The principal disciple of Aksabhya Tirtha was known as Jayartha. Jayartha's service was for his disciple Jnanasindhu. G.B. Dayanadhi received the science of devotional service from Jnanasindhu, and the servant of Dayanadhi was Vidyanadhi, Vidyadharaja Tirtha. Rajendra Tirtha became a disciple of Vidyadharaja Tirtha. Rajendra Tirtha's servant was known as Jayadharma or Vihayadvaja Tirtha. In this way you should properly understand this disciplic succession. 4. The great sannyasi Sri Purasatama Tirtha received his knowledge in the service of his guru, Vihayadvaja Tirtha vertical bar Jayadharma. The principal disciple of Purasatama Tirtha was Subramanya Tirtha. His servant was the great Vyasa Tirtha, Vyasaraya. Vyasa Tirtha's servant was Lakshmipati Tirtha, whose disciple was Madhavendra Puri Goswami. 0. The chief disciple of Madhavendra Puri was Isvara Puri, and two of his other disciples were the renowned incarnations of Godhead Sri Nityananda and Advaita ācārya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the spiritual preceptor of all the worlds, made Isvara Puri greatly fortunate by accepting him as his spiritual master. 6. Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya is non-different from Sri Radha and Krishna and is the very life of those Vaisnavas who follow Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Svarupa Damodara Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami were the givers of great happiness to Visvambara, Sri Chaitanya. 7. The great souls Yiva Goswami and Raghunatha Dasa Goswami became very dear to Rupa Goswami. Yiva Goswami was a disciple of Rupa Goswami, and Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, a disciple of Advaita ācārya's disciple Yajunandana ācārya, was accepted by Rupa and Sanatana as their third brother. Raghunatha Dasa Goswami's beloved student was Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami. Krishnadasa Kaviraja was an intimate friend of Lokanatha Goswami. They lived together in Vrandavana and always discussed the topics of Krishna with one another. Lokanatha Goswami, a disciple of Gadadhara Pandita, had only one disciple, whose name was Nautama Dasa. Nautama Dasa was always engaged in the service of his guru, and he also engaged himself in the service of his guru's intimate friend. Thus he became very dear to Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami. To serve by the feet of Nautama Dasa Thakura was the only desire of Visvanatha Chakravarti Thakura, who was the fourth ācārya in disciplic succession from Nautama Dasa. 8. Visvanatha Chakravarti Thakura was the Siksa guru, instructing spiritual master, of Baladeva Vidyabhusana, to whom he taught the precepts of Srimad Bhagavatam. Jagannath Dasa Babaji was a very prominent ācārya after Sri Baladeva Vidyabhusana and was the beloved Sikh guru of Sri Bhaktivedanta Thakura. Bhaktivedanta Thakur's intimate friend and associate was the eminent Mahabhagavata Sri Gaurkishor Dās Bābājī, whose sole joy was found in Hari Bhajana. 9. These treat saintly Vaisnavas are all Paramamsas, or devotees of the highest order, and they are all part of Lord Gauranga's own spiritual family. Their holy feet are my refuge. I have no real interest in devotional services and Lama poor and lowly Tridandasani I named Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati. Because this song has been composed by Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakura, he has placed his name at the end of the song, as is customarily done by Vaisnava poets. In order to glorify Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakura and his beloved disciple Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada as spiritual teachers in the preceptorial succession from Sri Caitanya Deva, the following verse has been added and may be optionally sung instead of the song's 9th verse. Sri Varsabhanavi Bara, Sadasavya Sevapara, Tahara Daita Dasa Namatara Pradhan Prakarako, Sri Bhaktivedanta Namo, Padita Janitoya Dhamma. The renowned Sri Varsabhanavi Daita Dasa, the initiated name of Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati, is always engaged in the service of his spiritual master, Srila Gaurkishor Dās Bābājī. His foremost disciple preacher is Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has spread the message of Lord Chaitanya throughout the world and is thus a reservoir of mercy and compassion for all fallen souls.